Hey everyone, back here in the saw shop slash garage, Mike's Custom Saws. Hope everyone had a good new year. I know mine was. Our youngest daughter had a bunch of friends over, so we hung out with a bunch of teenagers, but it was fun. It was a good time. So anyways, in the opening there, I showed you kind of like a pan view of some of the saws that I've got up on the shelf that I've done up. And what I was showing was basically the bar scabbards that I've made. That came from when I did a couple seasons with the DNR up here in Washington State, a wildland firefighting type of thing. We always made our scabbards out of fire hose, old fire hose. So working at a fire department now, there's a lot of surplus hose, so it's easy to get and take a couple pieces, cut it up, and that's what I wanted to go over today. I thought it would be a great video. It's much better than using those plastic scabbards, man. You can throw that saw over your shoulder. It's a lot softer on your shoulder. It protects you from the chain. It protects you from your dogs. It's just a good thing to do. So I'm gonna bring you guys in close and we'll go over the tools that are needed to do it, and then show you the process of doing it. It's pretty simple. A couple rivets, a little torch to melt the hose a bit, and scissors, and you got a scabbard, and they last forever. I mean, you'll get, the more you use them, the better they get because they get softer. So yeah, show you, bring you along on this trip. We'll do it. Okay, here we go. We got the this is a 038 Magnum. Old saw that I had gotten, I think I paid $35 for it. It had blown out bearings, so tore it all the way down, split the case, put crank seals in it and bearings, ported it. I'll get some numbers for you too. I got them written down in a notebook. Put the West Coast saw universal exhaust on there, and then the West Coast saw dogs on there. I did have the stock dogs on here, and I used it in after running these on pretty much every saw that I've got in the Northwest up here with the Doug fir, big bark. It just makes a huge difference. It actually felt unsafe without having those big dogs where you could just dog in. This is the Firewood Pro Sizer, and this saw basically, it's got a 28-inch bar on it, so I'm gonna mainly use it for bucking. And once you get these things dialed in, they are money. They work so good. I do 16-inch rounds for firewood, and it makes it so much easier. I used to use a block of wood and some logger's chalk and hit the wood, and you don't have to bend down anymore. I mean, with the 28-inch bar, you can just go through there and make your marks, and then just buzz through it afterwards. It's so much easier. Definitely well worth the money. It's got a little push button. There's the laser, so you dial that in, tighten up off of here, and tighten up. This is the second edition, so it's got the adjustments for, that'll be lateral movement, and then you got your vertical movement off a set screw on here, and it works super well. So anyways, that's kind of the saw. I will get the numbers and post those out, what they are on the saw. It runs super good. Really impressed with it. Original jug on it. I did put a piston in it and rings in it also when I did the porting on it. So anyways, onto this project. Kind of see what we've got here. We'll start out with the rivets. So they're 3/16 inch, half-inch rivets. So there's the two here, and then washers to go on the back side. And I'll show how those all work out. Torch just to burn the end of the fire hose. Got the rivet tool, and then I got a pliers because this hose actually has an inner liner in it, and we're going to be pulling this inner liner out. And then marking out where we're going to put our rivets. So I got the Sharpie here, and what we'll do is once we get this inner liner out, we'll put this onto the bar and mark out where we're going to put our 2 holes for our rivets. Drill our holes, put our rivets in. We'll also come up on this side and we'll cut some slits in here and up here so that it will fit over these dogs. It'll kind of flare out this way and then flare out on the other side so that it covers the dogs up. So that's basically the tools you need. And then we got the drill with the 3/16 inch drill, of course, in there. So we'll get on this thing. Okay, let's get going on this thing. Got you guys zoomed in a bit. First thing we're gonna do, I got my pliers, and this particular fire hose has an inner liner inside there, so I gotta pull that out. So grab the old channel locks and just yank and pull. There's our inner liner. So that's kind of rubber lined in there. This is actually good to use for other smaller saws and whatnot. This actually will not go over the 28-inch bar there. So we'll put that off to the side, and then we're left with just fire hose. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure that this fits perfect over that bar and chain. So the next step, I'm gonna take this fire hose and just gonna kind of place it on that. I want to see where I need to put where I need to cut slits up in this area, kind of like up here, to know where it needs to be cut up so that it'll go over the dogs. So just gonna kind of make a mark with a Sharpie just to tell where that is. Double check it. Looks pretty good there. So I'm gonna run and get a scissors real quick. Okay, got my scissors. So I'm just gonna make my slices. Basically just coming in and opening this up a bit. Right on the crease of the hose. Got up to my line. Gonna do the other side. Gonna make sure those are about even. Need to do a little bit more on this side. Okay, you can kind of see how that's gonna go. I'll show you here. We'll slide it up over this thing. Yeah, I think you guys can see that. So where it goes over the dogs is going to protect the shoulder from the dogs on there. So now that could actually be cut a little bit more because I'm feeling out here, right here on the end of the bar through there, and I've got a little bit more room that I can go. So I'm going to come back here, take that off again, and I'm going to slice up a little bit more on the hose. Sorry, so you guys can see it. Alright. So we're about even. Try it out again. Slide it back down. Covering those dogs. There we go. That's pretty good. That's what I want to see. Okay, so I'm going to zoom you in here a little bit. Okay, so out here, now that I've got down here where the dogs are, that's all set up. So right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a couple marks with the Sharpie of where I got to drill and put my rivets. And I want it basically just off. I'm feeling through the fire hose here, just off the end of the tip of the bar. So we're looking probably, here's the end of the bar right here. So more than likely try to split this pretty even. Right in there. And then I've got some overlap here on the hose. I'm going to trim that off right now. So you're going to take the scissors, and trim all this little bit of overlap. It wasn't cut completely evenly. And that's no big deal because we'll use the torch to burn all that up. So I'm going to slide this guy off of here, and now I've got my two marks where I got to drill and rivet. I'm going to zoom you back out a little bit here, and we'll get to doing that. Okay, get some of these tools out of the way. So just got a block of wood here so that I can drill onto it. So I'm gonna just drill on those two dots that I made with the Sharpie. All right. Trying to make sure that I've got about even spacing. Okay, there's one hole. And then I'll try to get about evenly spaced. All right. So we got two clean holes. I moved it a little bit from where my dots were, just to kind of space them evenly from here to here to here to here. All right. So next step, we take our rivets, and we're going to force those rivets through the holes we just drilled, like that. There's one. And two. So we got those in there. Now I'll take my washers, and I'm going to put that on the back side of the rivet. Take the rivet gun, and start squeezing those rivets. And you'll see how they squeeze onto those washers, and it won't allow that rivet to pull through the fire hose. I'm gonna take you two hands here. There it goes. Grab that. And See if that'll focus on there. Kind of see what that did there. See if it'll come into focus there. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one here. I got to put the washer on it and pull the rivet through. Long day at work today. Got a lot of this stuff done though at the department. It's a good day. Nice and sunny actually up here for the most part. In January it's kind of, usually we don't get sunshine in January up in northwestern Washington up here. It's got pull. There we go. Caught that one. All right. So 2 rivets in. Rivets with the washers on it. It's not going to pull through. Nice and tight. So if you can see, I still got that overlap there that I want to take care of. So I'm just going to take a scissors, snip across there, and then use a torch to burn it out. There we go. All nice, cleaned out. All right. So, torch time. Now we're just gonna burn this and melt it down. All I'm doing is melting the end of the hose so that it doesn't fray on me. Cut that end off. So these scabbards really work well. If anyone wants to do this, I mean, I work for the local fire department, so it's pretty easy to get old surplus hose, but I'm sure anywhere where you go, any fire department's going to have surplus hose that when we do our hose testing annually, there's bound to be hose that fails and we can't use it anymore. So most departments will have various sizes of surplus hose. Every department runs a little bit different size hose. And you go down to your local fire department and see if they have any surplus hose. These make excellent scabbards. I mean, I can't tell you how good they are. They are soft on your shoulder and they last forever, and they work in and they get softer and softer as you use them. So here you go. That's when it's all burnt up, or melted, or seared, however you want to say it. So that won't fray anymore. So now I'm going to do the same thing to this side. So there's a little bit of material here that's pulling out. I'm just going to go ahead and cut that off. It's pretty tough stuff to cut too. And then take the torch again. I'm going to turn it down a little bit and just go along the edge here. Don't get your finger, that hurts. There we go. Turn it around. There we go. All right. I've been wanting to make this video. Well, I'm doing this for a while. This is something that I've been, since early 2000s that I've been, from when I got my first saw, which was an 036 Pro. It's, during my first year of wildland firefighting. That's when I kind of got hooked on chainsaws, and that was my first saw, was the 036 Pro. I bought it from a pawn shop, and still have that saw. Always will have it. It's now been ported, of course, rebuilt, ported, and still is a good saw to this day. But that's kind of where I learned about this. Now, I can't remember if this is exactly how back in the day we did it with the rivets and everything. I just know we used fire hose. It might have just been open at the end. But that's it. There we go. Look at that. Boom. Boom. Yeah. Everything is sealed up. So I'm gonna zoom you out, and we'll do a test fit on this thing. Yeah, check this thing out. There's the old 038 Magnum. Let's get this thing out of the way. These saws are cool. Heavy as anything though, so that's why I put the Firewood Pro Sizer on it, because I'm gonna mainly just use this for a bucking saw. So let's put this thing on here and see what happens. And there we are. Perfect. And as is, we're in, they get their form, they hold, especially up at the dogs, they'll just slide right on. So, yeah, grab this thing now, throw it over the shoulder, and be all good. I'll bring you off the tripod here and show you what I'm talking about. This is cool. All right, so here it is. There's our rivet gun. There's our tools. Super easy to do. Taking like 10 minutes maybe. So there it is, covering up this nice sharp West Coast saw. Gordy down there. Thank you, Gordy. Much appreciation. Covering up to his dogs there. Nice scabbard. There's our rivets. Come around this side. See the rivets with the washers there. Down there it's covering those dogs up there. That's all you need. Super sweet scabbard. Come right off. Go right back on again. Got a little fuzz right there. Take that off, but the rest of this is all, it's all sealed up. And if it starts to fray or anything, just take a little bit of a torch and hit it again. So yeah, very, very good. So much better. Let me come over here and there it is. That's the old scabbard that was on it when I got it. So much better than this old plastic steel scabbard. These are fine. I mean, if you're gonna just throw it in the back of the truck or whatnot, that's fine. But if you're hiking out into the woods, you want to have something like this going on. Throw it over your shoulder. You don't have to worry about it. It's soft on your shoulder and works out so much better. Alright, so hopefully that helps someone out there. Something that's been being done for a long time in the wildland community. I was out there in the early 2000s, and That's where I learned how to do it. I'm sure they've been doing it for a long time before then. So much easier on your shoulder. Throw that thing over your shoulder, soft on your shoulder. Works out really well. Thanks for watching, and hopefully, like I said, hopefully it'll help out someone. It's been a video that I've been wanting to do for a while, kind of show those little tricks and tips. It makes things easier. You know, you got to hike out into the bush with this thing. It's just much easier on you. You take it off, throw it on the bush, and go to work. The other thing too is you can put your scrinch. I got one sitting over there, but anyways, you just take it and stick it right in between your bar and your scabbard. It rests right in there, so you got that on your shoulder too. Alright, thanks again for watching. Much appreciation. Mike's Custom Saws.